Good evening and welcome to day 101 of the 108-day initiation with me, Sara. So I'm initiating my voice, myself, my authentic expression, and just coming to as close as I'm here to find my human potential. So today we're going to dive into the topic of strategy versus God, because that's the perfect follow-up from the manifestation. I'm going through something. We're moving through so much energy. It's incredible. Now I'm realizing that I'm alchemizing a lot for Simba at the moment, because he's it's just exciting times. He was just headlined as the main event together with David in Jakarta. That was just incredible. So there's so much happening and shifting. And it's so deeply connected with the body connection, because the sovereignty that happens when we connect all the way is the safety, it's the inner authority, but it can't exist without the safety. So when we install that, something happens in the body. And you can talk about this, what comes first, if it's the trust in God or if it's the safety, but they are deeply interlinked. It's almost like it's created that way, that to be able to fully fall, it kind of involves God in a way, because there's this trust in something bigger, something greater. And this is where it connects with the mental layer, because the mind and the strategy, because we're trying to figure something out. If I just figure out this, how do I? It's this constant chase for the solution, that something is wrong that needs to be fixed. And it just doesn't work that way. It's not built in that way. It's not linear like that. So when the mind tried to strategize and try to plan, that's where we go into control. And that's where the surrender comes in, to kind of give the authority, or it's not authority, it's the trust, that we trust in something. We give our faith in God. And that this is probably one of the most difficult things to fully surrender to, is to realize what is the nudges from inside and what is a strategy or a very good idea created from the mind. And it fits, and we, wow, I spent so much time, planning and just trusting life itself, that everything is going to work itself out, that life is happening for me, that God conspires in my favor, that it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. And that is deeply connected with the challenges that we've been talking about, to how we deal with those challenges. And if we can, even in the hard moments, trust that this is happening for me, and something is around the corner that I just don't know yet. And this is the shift, and something happens, and this is where I'm falling deeper and deeper into this trust and this surrender, and I'm letting go of the strategy, even in the business, in everything. Just let the creativity lead, the joy lead, the ambition, and just following the guidance. And it's so much connected with the relationship between me and Simba, and that is also shifting at the moment. It's like we're coming closer and closer, and it all happened when we shifted the environment. And yeah, we're just becoming very in sync and aligned, and it's and that also, it's the trust. So I'm fully leaning into also him leading himself in a way. It's like we're coming closer, but also the energy between us is more clean. And that has happened because we both have been working very deep with mother and father wounds over the years, and as we work through that, our relationship becomes more clear. So it becomes much easier to connect to to the everyday shifts, and how we can see, it's almost like we can see in real time how it's connected to our ability to alchemize the energy, because that's what it is, to make a shift from worry or fear into trust is a deep process, because we're releasing generations after generation after generations of lack and fear and survival, and so it's the embodiment of the truth. It's a feeling that we're coming closer and closer to what we would be without all of these imprints. I'm not saying we're perfect in any sense, but it comes to a point where I don't believe that you have to. It's like, I'm going to do a separate talk on in one of the other playlists about this. But it's we all have a pile of gifts from the past generations and this lifetime, of habits and behaviors and thought patterns that are limiting our worldview. And as we release that, you come to a point, you have to bring in a lot of effort to do the work, but it really pays off. And then you come to a point where your natural, it's like your lifestyle and your natural progress will take care of the rest. So after a while, it's all about just maintaining the alchemy process, and that we do for vitality. We don't do that to clear anything out, but the process is the same, and that's why I'm putting together my internal alchemy process, how I move energy and how I connect. So it's the multidimensional process. So if we keep that up, then we don't need to look for anything, because the body will bring anything to the surface that is wanting to be released. So the body is a self-healing mechanism. It's absolutely wild. And then things start to happen by itself. 8 days left. 7. Yeah, it's still, I still feel like I'm in the middle of I'm so tired. I've been moving a lot today, but it's I joined Simba's internal alchemy with fascia class today. Wow, I went so deep, and after that, I'm just it's uh, it's very, very good. It's fantastic, actually, but I can feel it. And Simba is going to Indonesia in a week, so I'm getting, and that is just about when I'm supposed to end the 108 days. It was supposed to end on Saturday, on the 19th, but I added a couple of days because I skipped a couple of days. So I want to do 108 in this playlist before I quit, or before I take a pause and then only work from these sparks of creativity, instead of like now I'm completely forcing myself to. I mean, you can hear my voice. I'm just whew, so tired because there's so many shifts happening. So I wouldn't do this to myself. So I'm getting to that point where, okay, I'm I'm going to do things differently from here. And that is to follow that internal, to let God speak to me in the moment, and allow the creativity to lead every single time in everything. Where is the joy? Where is the satisfaction? Where is the evolvement? Where what lights us up? And only let that lead. But in order to do that, I have to activate the whole thing first. So I'm going to fulfill the 108 days. But if you feel like I'm in some type of energy, I'm just exhausted, because I had such a big contraction yesterday and this morning, and then huge expansion. So my nervous system is like, wow. And yeah, I trust I trust the timing of my own creation. So I just allow and follow. But I'm completely letting go of the strategy. The strategy is God and the present moment. So when this ends on the 108th day, I will go into silence again, but then without anything controlling me or steering me, and with a much deeper sense of freedom. So that's what's coming. And then now I have a couple of topics lined up. We'll see. We'll see. We have to see what happens. But basically, just following our dreams and following our creation and finding that creation, and getting to know ourselves and release the things that are standing in the way, that is clouding our judgments, that is clouding, the illusions. So working with me, I'm opening up to work with me. I'm probably going to open up the energy a little bit wider after the 108 days and launch the sensational. So that's what's coming. And my calendar is open. If you feel like there is anything that I can support you with, then you're probably right. So I've opened up a couple of slots every week where it's just you and I, and you bring to the table whatever you want me to look at and whatever you want me to have clarity about, or getting into the body, finding the truth, or you just want me to mirror you in anything. So I'm opening up my calendar. If you enjoy my journey, my travels, my reports, my adventures, please like and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.